Line Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. It's the Friday before the Giants-Bears game on Sunday. What does that mean? Nothing. It's just a Friday. I wanted to do a quick video today because I was watching the Thursday night football game. I found it quite interesting because, of course, Odell Beckham had the big touchdown, and it's over a year now since we traded Mr. Beckham to Cleveland. And I was kind of thinking to myself, as a retrospective, has the trade worked out for the Giants, and has the trade worked out for the Cleveland Browns? And you know what? I'm going to change my mind on that. I really don't care about the Cleveland Browns' perspective. My question is, looking at the 2020 Giants compared to the 2018 Giants, 2019 Giants, has the Giants improved greatly by sending away what many would refer to as a generational talent? I personally was not upset when they traded Odell away. I admit that freely. I think there's no secret in that regards. But I have to take a look at the fact that at the time we traded a 26-year-old who had just signed a 5-year, $90 million contract with $41 million of that guaranteed. Yes, his last year in 18, he only played in 12 games, caught 77 passes, had 6 touchdowns. He played injured most of that season. Was it his best season of his career? No, but like I said, you play 12 games and you still catch, 77 passes for 1,052 yards for 13.7 and 6 touchdowns. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not a bad opportunity. That's not a bad season for a player who, of course, is supposed to be spectacular. Was it a spectacular season? No, but like I said, he didn't miss 4 games because of injuries. So, when they traded him, I was not one of these people that were like, oh my God, they traded Odell. The horror of this, they traded Odell. I wasn't that one of the persons, And what did we get for Odell? We got 17th, their 17th overall pick, their second, third round pick, which was 96, plus safety Peppers, and also, we had Vernon and everyone else involved in the trade because evidently technically all those trades were combined into one to make it work. So, if you take a look at this trade, has the Giants gotten better or worse from the situation for the trade? And honestly, if you take a look at both perspectives, you have to take a look at Odell's last season. You got to take a look at the totality of the season. We were 5-11 that year, and honestly, we probably should have had a better record. So you think about it, we should have won the Carolina game. So that would have put us at 6. You take a look at the Indianapolis game and the Dallas game, both winnable games at the end of the season. So that's 2 more. That would be technically even 2 more wins. The loss in Chicago, that's another game we could have won. The implosion in Philadelphia, that's another game we could have won. So we had opportunities that year to win more than 5 games, and I don't blame the entire season on Odell. For him, not meeting his lofty expectations that we have for him as Giant fans every season. What I think we really need to look at for 18 is, what did Dave Gettleman do that season to put us in a position to win? Now, if you take a look at his, if you take a look at the players that he signed out of free agency, Solder, Kareem Martin, Patrick Omameh, Curtis Riley, Corey Latimer, Michael Thomas, Zach Klein, Connor Barwin, Leonard Johnson. He was not bringing in a plethora of talent, to say the least. So, and then the guys that we re-signed, Ryan O'Malley, John Jalapeno, Robert Thomas, we re-signed Burt Jones, John Greco, Kerry Wynn. It's not like he was bringing in a plethora of talent that we could really rely on. He did bring in Nick Gates that year, the alpha center. Grant Hale he brought in that year. Tay Davis. Those were the big undrafted free agents that had somewhat of a participation. He made the Alex Ogletree trade. Brought in Jonathan Stewart, B.W. Webb. He didn't bring in the talent that needed to be around that team. He didn't fill the roster, I think. And I think a lot of times we blame Odell because of all of his antics and all the crap that Odell did. And you know what? If you take a look at this, at the grand scheme of things, of what Odell did and all the crap that he did, it wasn't really that bad. Yeah, he was a pain in the ass. Yeah, he said he hated New York and this and that. But what he did was, not, he had the thing with the model and the cigarette and the kicking net. And if you look back on it, it's all kind of a joke. I mean, it's all like, you got rid of the guy for this? I mean, he had 4,000-yard receiving seasons for us, except for 17 when he was hurt. He had 12, 13, 10 touchdowns. His worst year was 6 touchdowns. Last year, which was a bad year in Cleveland, he still caught for 1,035 yards at 14 yards a carry. I mean, an average of 14 yards a catch for 4 touchdowns, with the longest one of 89 yards. He still played exceptionally well. And we got Dexter Lawrence out of it. And Dexter Lawrence is going to be a beast. Let's be honest. We see that in Dexter Lawrence now. Dexter Lawrence is a great pickup. Great giant pickup. And Peppers, Peppers is up and down. And I think that is the nicest thing you could say about Peppers, is that he's up and down. And I'm not, and I'm not saying that as a bad way. He has the talent. You could see he has the talent. But the question is he ever going to put the talent together? And is he ever going to do it for a full season? You listen, Peppers looks great on like 3 plays. He looks fantastic. You got to give Peppers that. But then what happens is, he kind of disappears a little bit. He kind of makes a bonehead play. So it's like you can't knock Pepper. You can't say Peppers was. They were always saying, well, Peppers included in this trade was because of the fact that's like getting another first rounder. I never really saw that as getting another first rounder from them. Like I said, Peppers. We picked up his 5th-year option. We're going to see what he's going to do. But I've never seen that as like, that's such a great trade. I mean, that's such a great pickup, Peppers. Well, we had to see what Peppers does. Everyone gets excited about him, but Peppers is one of those guys that really hasn't done anything yet. We get excited about the talent, but not the production. So once Peppers is able to put all of his talent together and showcase it, which we hope he does this year, to me, Peppers is the Evan Ingram of the defense. All the talent in the world has an issue of making it on the field. Like I said, Peppers, you see plays and you're like, oh my God, he's a star. And then like 2 plays later, you're like, what the hell was Peppers thinking? So if you take a look at it, the breakdown of it, yeah, we got a couple starters. We got 2 starters, but we got 1 potentially all-pro starter. And then we also got 1 starter that at any point in time can be a wonder or he could be a bust. And then I love it because people sit there and go, well, just think what our offense would look like with Darius Slayton and Odell Beckham on the field together. Yeah, but then think of the fact, what would we not have on the defense without Dexter Lawrence? I mean, it's a give or take. Do I think a year later that the Giants are a better team without Odell Beckham? No, I do not think that. Do I think still that the trade was acceptable and the trade was not, put it this way, do I think the Giants made a mistake by trading Odell Beckham? Like I said, when they first traded him, I did not think it was a mistake. A year later, after seeing the talent that we have, Dexter Lawrence can be a star. Let's put it that way. But interior defensive linemen are easier to find than a wide receiver at the talent of Odell Beckham. I mean, think about it. The Giants had Jonathan Hankins, Le'Veon Joseph. I mean, they let these guys go at the highlight of their careers. Even what's his name, Cofield, who went to Washington. And the Giants always seem to find interior linemen. Do I think Dexter Lawrence is going to be better than those guys? I think he will be on par with those guys. I don't think he's going to get better. So in some ways, maybe I have changed my mind in the regards to the fact that, and again, we're not even adding in the whole Olivier Vernon, the Kevin Zeidler. We're not adding all that. We're just adding on the Odell for the 17, the additional third, and Peppers. So you know what? It's a weird component because of the fact that I want to say that we are going to be fine with Dexter and Peppers, but then you look at the fact that yes, we may have a little bit of an issue in the receiving core that we could have had a core of receivers of Darius Slayton, Odell Beckham, Daniel Jones, and Saquon Barkley. But hindsight is 2020. But you know what? I do have to say, in some regards, after a year later, even with all the turmoil and everything that Odell has gone through in Cleveland and everything else, I do have to say a year later, the Giants potentially may have made a mistake by getting rid of Odell Beckham. And that's what I'm going to end it on today because, like I said, I don't want to harp on this, but like I said, I was a fan of the trade. Now, a year and change later, not so much. So, I mean, but it is what it is. Dexter Lawrence is going to be fantastic. Peppers is going to, hide all of his warts, and then we're going to go on from there. And like I said, I do have us losing in Chicago, but you know what? We can still have a respectable season. We can still have a good season in our standards, and that's all we need to think about. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could subscribe, if you could ring that bell, you think you know what that means? That would be awesome.